Whispers are echoing through the corridors of power, growing louder with each passing day. Several high-level insiders claim that President Cyril Ramaphosa may be secretly contemplating stepping down, not at the end of his term, but within months, as chaos and internal conflict continue to tear the ANC apart from within. The burning question now is whether the president truly stands on the brink of resignation, or if this is part of a high-stakes power game unfolding inside the ruling party. Before diving into the full story, viewers are reminded to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications, because what's happening behind closed doors right now could reshape South Africa's political future forever. What began as quiet murmurs among ANC insiders has, in recent weeks, transformed into credible reports suggesting that Ramaphosa might be considering an early exit. According to senior sources, the president has confided in close allies that relentless internal sabotage and factional warfare have made governance nearly impossible. One insider described the party as a battlefield of competing interests, explaining that Ramaphosa has grown increasingly isolated. A top ANC strategist allegedly told journalists off the record that the president is tired and cornered by his own people. The source added that Ramaphosa now realizes the civil war within the ANC cannot be won. The internal divisions have reached a boiling point. On one side stand the president's loyalists pushing for reform and anti-corruption initiatives, on the other, influential veterans and provincial leaders who are determined to undermine his authority and protect their power ahead of the 2026 elections. Reports indicate that recent party meetings have become tense and volatile, with shouting matches erupting between senior ministers and even threats of exposure being made. According to leaked minutes from a high-level discussion, one faction accused Ramaphosa of betraying the movement and exploiting the state capture narrative to target rivals. Meanwhile, the opposing camp contends that resistance to Ramaphosa's leadership is proof that corruption networks are desperately fighting to preserve themselves. Either way, the ANC is locked in an internal war with no clear end in sight, a war that is steadily tearing the ruling party apart. The political pressure on Ramaphosa is mounting from every direction. Public frustration continues to grow over persistent unemployment, economic stagnation, and worsening power outages. Within the party, opponents are reportedly plotting a leadership challenge, potentially even before the next national election. Multiple insiders suggest that a faction of senior ministers and provincial figures is already drafting a post-Ramaphosa transition plan. A source close to Luthuli House revealed that secret meetings are taking place without the president's knowledge, adding that people are already positioning themselves for what comes after him. Even some of Ramaphosa's former allies are said to be losing faith, fearing that the intensifying anger within the ANC base could destroy the entire movement if the internal conflict continues. Foreign observers are reportedly monitoring the unfolding political uncertainty with concern. Investors have begun voicing anxiety over policy instability, while whispers from diplomatic circles suggest that several foreign governments are quietly preparing for a potential leadership change. One diplomatic insider remarked, "If Ramaphosa goes, the ANC could implode. Nobody knows who would emerge as the next power center, and that's what worries everyone." The presidency has dismissed these reports as mere political gossip, yet Ramaphosa's own silence and hesitation have only intensified the speculation. Those close to him describe the president as visibly exhausted, both politically and personally. He has reportedly been skipping key engagements and restricting his inner circle to a few trusted advisors. Recent footage from internal ANC events shows Ramaphosa avoiding confrontations and remaining uncharacteristically quiet during heated debates, a stark contrast to his previously assertive demeanor. Political analysts interpret these as classic signs of a leader losing his grip and potentially preparing an exit strategy to safeguard what remains of his legacy. Dr. Thibi Kumalo, a respected analyst, noted that Ramaphosa entered office as a reformer but now finds himself surrounded by adversaries. According to Kumalo, the president may be calculating whether it's better to leave on his own terms rather than risk being forced out. If Ramaphosa were to step down, it would trigger a political earthquake. The ANC would face an intense succession battle, with rival factions racing to seize control of the party's future and its public narrative. Names such as Paul Moshatile, Guido Mantashe, and Fikile Mbalula are already being floated as potential successors, though each carries significant political baggage. Analysts warn that a sudden resignation could destabilize the economy, unsettle financial markets, and deepen public distrust in the ANC's ability to govern. So, is President Ramaphosa genuinely preparing to resign, or is this merely a strategic leak meant to test loyalty within the ANC? Only time will tell. But one thing is undeniable: the cracks within the ruling party are no longer hidden, they are now wide open for the world to see. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe Ramaphosa should step down or fight to the end? And don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next major development in this escalating power struggle, because if these rumors prove true, South Africa could soon witness the most dramatic leadership shake-up since 1994. See.